Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. On this week's episode, I'm going to be showing you how I tie the bomber, one of my favorite Atlantic salmon flies and one of my favorite flies to tie. So enjoy, and don't forget to watch to the end because there's a couple good tricks in this one. Hey YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Fly Tires Fridays. It's been a long time since I've done one of these episodes, and due to popular demand, I'm going to be bringing them back. Not sure if I'm going to be doing one every Friday or not, but if you guys like them, then I kind of got no choice but to do one every week. So let's get off to a start. Today we're going to be tying one of my famous fishing flies, and one of the flies I'm famous for tying is a bomber. Today we're going to be using the CS42 partridge bomber hook. I've already got it in the vise here. We're going to be using uni 6/0 tying thread. We're going to be using chartreuse deer body hair. We're going to be using white craft fur. I like craft fur better for the tail and the horn as opposed to the more traditional style of using calf tail, because two reasons. One, it's more supple, so it won't spin your flies when you're casting them, so your leader doesn't get twisted. And it doesn't hold water, so it helps keep that fly floating a little better. And we're going to be using select deer strips in green. So let's get started here. We'll get our thread tied on. I like putting a little base down to hold in that tail section. And as you can see here, I bring the thread right back to the point of the hook. Grab a small clump of this craft fur. It's a little easier to work with if it's sitting down, so I'm just going to sit it here. Cut off a nice clump there. Now, some people will use a hair stacker. I prefer not to. So what I'll do, as you can see here, it's not even. I'll just pull some out. Keep working this a little bit till we get a nice even tips. You want to go a hook gap and a half on your tails on most dry flies. So we'll sit that on there, pinch it, and then we'll come back a little ways, pull it up, and if you cut it like this, you're going to have a straight bump. If you pull it up and cut it, you'll get a taper, as you can see there. And that just allows for a nice transition in your thread. Now we'll bring that back. And we'll take some chartreuse deer here. About the size of a pencil is what I usually like to go with. Now, you want to get all that under fur and loose stuff out of there. I cut the tips off, some people don't, but I find it easier to trim around the tail when the time comes. We'll just snip that off, lay that halfway through the clump, come around. I'll do 2 wraps and then let go, and then it'll spin around. Spinning deer hair is a very difficult thing for some people. I've done thousands and thousands of bombers and buck bugs. So spinning deer hair is something that kind of comes natural to me now. We're going to tie in 2 clumps. So we got a nice chartreuse butt there. Go around twice. Secure that down. Now the key is put your fingers back here to stop it from pushing down over the hook. and push those two clumps together really well. Pull it ahead. Put your dam in there. Now we're going to transition into the dark green. Again, same idea. A clump about the size of a pencil. As you can see here, get that underfur out. The underfur will hold moisture and work against your fly floating nice and high in the water column. We're going to butt this right up next to that one. Same idea, go around twice. Secure it down. Pinch and roll. And then we just repeat this process until we get up to where we're going to tie in our horn. Now, as you can see, we got about 1/4 of an inch left there. So I'm going to do the same thing, come up with my thread, build a nice base. Now we're going to tie in our horn, which again is tied out of craft fur. Same idea as the deer hair, get a little bit of that underfur out. Even up our tips. Again, hook 1.5, so about the same length as your tail. Make your adjustments now, because once you secure this down, you'll pretty much have what you have. Come up, come in with your scissors, clip it so you got a nice taper. Secure that down really well. You want to make sure you have a good base, and you want to make sure you secure that down because we're going to be spinning over the top of that. I'll even wet that to keep it from getting tangled in with the deer hair. It is more difficult to spin over that thread. Might take a little bit of practice. Your tension's a little bit different, but then once you get it, you got it. Pull that back, drop in your deer hair, wrap around twice, and slowly spin it around. I'm going to go one more small clump. This clump here, you might have to adjust the size depending on how much room you have left. I'm going to go with 1/2 pencil just to fill that little gap up there. Now pull it all back. Bring your thread ahead of your horn. I'll just throw a couple 1/2 hitches in there because the fly is not finished, so just to hold your thread. Now comes the fun and messy part. Guys, if you're watching this video, your wife's going to hate you for this because it makes a complete mess. But it's a necessary evil. I like to start at the back of the fly. So I'll come in with my scissors and come all around that tail so I don't get the point in around where I can clip that tail off or any part of it. I'll clip sideways. Same thing on the head. Now, I come in, I'll start on the bottom. Now, some people like a certain taper. I like tapering towards the tail and towards the horn. And remember, you can always take more off, but you can't put it back on. So just get your rough shape. And then do your final trimming after. So there's our rough shape. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to do my taper all around the head. If you have any particular salmon flies or striper flies or saltwater flies you'd like to see tied on the channel, please leave a comment down below. And if you're liking these videos, be sure to subscribe and like it. It really helps grow the channel. Now, we'll do the body shape. And like I said, you can always take more off, but you can't put it on. So take your time. Couple little scragglers in under there. Lift up our tail and get in under. You can get really, really fussy on this. Honestly, a nicely trimmed body is for the fishermen. The fish really don't care. If a salmon's going to take a bomber, he's going to take an ugly one or a pretty one. You just don't want to take too much of the body hair off, because that is what gives you your buoyancy. Deer hair is hollow. So when you add your dry fly floating to it, you want to rub it in really good so it gets in between all those fibers and repels your water. So I think that's pretty good. Now what we'll do is we'll stick this back in the vise. Now, something a lot of guys do is they'll tie in their hackle before they start. All that's going to do is something else to get in the way, something else to trim around. Like I said, I've tied thousands of these, and this is the way I do it. I find it more secure. So you want to take off a nice long bit of thread. Start just inside the body. Go around a couple times, and then I leave that thread, and I'll stick that there because I'm going to show you a trick for later. This is what I'm using here today. This is a very old MEPS #2 saddle. Very hard to get with barbules that long. I just happen to have quite a few of them from years ago. I'll pull that down, and we're going to tie this in by the tip. And you want to try to wiggle your thread down so you can't really see that base. And then even spaced, come all the way up the body. This also helps secure the body. Pardon the pun, but it makes it bomb-proof. Our thread's up there. Now we're going to take our hackle. You want to use your hackle to cover up that thread that you see at the back there a little bit. Now we just start coming forward. I always like to put one wrap in front of the horn, kind of helps prop it up and clean up the head of the fly a little bit. Secure that down. Clip it off. A couple more wraps to make things nice and snug. Now, this piece of thread that we left, what I'll do is I will wiggle all the way back up. You want to wiggle it so it gets down into that deer hair and doesn't bind your hackle down. And what this is doing is securing that hackle. So if for some reason you do hook a big fish with some nice big teeth, which is hopefully what you'll do, if it does happen to break that hackle a little bit, your fly won't completely unravel. It'll only come apart so far, and you might get a couple more fish on it before you have to replace the hackle. Very easy to replace the hackle if you do it this way. Clip off your tag end. Grab your trusty whip finisher. I use a whip finisher. Some people can use their fingers. My fingers are usually too rough to use. Grab all your hackles and finish off your head. That's nice and secure. Come in with your scissors. This little tag end here from your hackle where you tied it in, just pluck it off. And there you go, folks. There is a bomber. Again, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that like and subscribe button and leave a comment down below. Like I said, let me know if there's any flies that you want to see tied on Fly Tires Fridays. And thanks for tuning in, guys.